Now I'm gonna get into the extreme way of bringing things into physical manifestation. Dum, dum, dum. As I mentioned before, um, consciousness, the concept of a new being, a new physical being, a new bird, a new mammal, a new kind of human, can come up through the food chain. The core of the earth being pure consciousness can expand itself by expanding the earth itself. People think everything in this physical reality, everything on earth, the resources especially, is a fixed amount. But I can imagine that pure consciousness at the core of the earth can receive from us, through us, the desire for something, and then manifest that desire. For example, everybody talks about don't use styrofoam, don't use plastic. It takes, millions of years to dissolve. Dude, I've been out in the desert. I've seen plastic. Your campers, all the little doodads that are plastic, they dry up and crumble and disintegrate so fast. And there's also accounts of worms in the earth that eat the styrofoam and eat the plastic. The earth saw a need and produced a creature that could help with that need, speed up a process that human beings did not think was possible. So imagine, if you will, the consciousness at the core of the earth. A human being wants a house, a home. That desire, goes down into the earth and works its way up through the lava, the materials, and rock hardens under the surface of the ground in certain forms. And then when the earth shakes, it vibrates up through there. You can have yourself a nice little home, a nice little temple made out of rock. Perhaps you want a fence of some sort, and all of a sudden little willow saplings start growing up in a line around the land that you're dwelling on, and you just start weaving them together. If we work on the more subtle levels and can observe more keenly what is around us, we can see the potential for all kinds of things. And the more we believe that they're possible, the more we observe them and get excited, like, oh wow, this is true. For example, according to old Native American tradition, if you walk barefoot on the earth, our bodies detox through our feet. The earth reads that, and I've had it proven to me that it will grow the plants that your body needs to come back into balance and be healthy and whole. That's one reason to have the goal of, having a piece of property that you could call your own and put more of your energy into. I had a discomforting symptom that, when I looked it up, was only back in the Middle Ages. Modern people don't experience that. But I had heard that, when you live on a piece of land and you put your energy into it, then the earth grows what you need. And the only herbal remedy for it, because there was no modern medicinal remedy for it because it wasn't needed. It was a condition that no longer exists commonly amongst us. So the only herbal remedy that I found was called shepherd's purse. Never heard of it, never seen it, but it was easy to identify when I looked it up. It's just a straight shoot, and then the seed pods grew off straight little branches and were heart-shaped. I never seen that. That doesn't exist. But I had left a piece of my property to grow wild, where the neighbors couldn't see it and complain that it wasn't mowed. So I just, why not? I went out there, and sure enough, there was the shepherd's purse. And I didn't even have, I was going to make a tincture out of it. But just working with it, I didn't even have to take the tincture. That symptom for that condition went away. And so many structures, people are trying to figure out, oh, how did the humans do it? They did it with levitation. And in some cases, that could be true. You know, the inspiration came and the means for that to happen through the human being and working energy itself, that can happen. And at the same time, that doesn't have to be the only way that things happen. A lot of people, and once you see it, you can't unsee it, they believe like a lot of the mountains, a lot of the rocks, a lot of the cave systems are the bodies of the giants. And so when you look at certain temples out in the desert that are made of stone and they have no idea how people could have made them, it is kind of walking into the vagina of a dead giant. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. The point being, there are all kinds of ways, if we allow ourselves to be aware of them, that things can come into this physical reality, that the earth isn't finite, it's not limited in its resources and the things that can be created and exist on this earth. It can be just another eternal consciousness amongst an infinite number of possibilities and potentials that it can bring into itself and can manifest in, all sorts of ways. And I would love to be able to live that in tune with the earth. There are resources that say, like I read the Ringing Cedars of Russia about a woman, Anastasia, who lived out there all by herself, and the things that she said were possible, like people can hibernate. I don't doubt that. In my last video, I talked about the various layers, the reptilian layers that we evolved through, and the memory of which still exists within us. I figured those layers, the reptiles and sea life, they regrow limbs. This is not outside of our realm of possibility and potential. That lives within us. It's a matter of allowing it, and what the people around us allow us to believe. Because if everybody's looking at me and going, rotten teeth, rotten teeth, rotten teeth, no matter how much I believe that my teeth can heal, they're not going to see it. They're not going to acknowledge it. And it's not going to appear to happen in the mirror made by doubting men who say it can't happen. That mirror is not going to reflect that it can happen unless the constitution of that mirror is changed by the beliefs around it and the energy that goes into it. So people who are used to seeing me a certain way, unless I announce, hey, I went to the dentist and I got this, surgery, or I pulled all my teeth and I got new teeth, sure, we'll put that story out there. That'll work. But I'm a stubborn person. And I'm going to hang in and hang on and wait until I can manifest what to me is more natural. it's more natural for me to believe I can regrow teeth, I can regrow a limb, I can rejuvenate my skin. That's easier for me to believe than putting myself through the trauma of doing it in an unnatural way that would not be enduring, because it's based on the beliefs in deterioration. Your screws and your dentures are going to deteriorate. They're metal, surgical steel, whatever. It's still metal, and according to the belief systems, it's going to deteriorate. And so it's just easier for me to believe and trust in the ability for us to do it ourselves. And it doesn't matter how long it takes. I just rest easier knowing that that's the path I've chosen for myself. That we can manifest, and we can see things manifested before us in a very organic and natural way. We have those abilities within us, and the earth has that ability within herself. The earth shakes, more land forms through volcanic activity, and sometimes islands just rise out of the sea. Maybe your house can too.